first off, I want to tell all the fans out there that I just thank Coach Pitino for giving us this opportunity. I mean, this is the mecca of basketball. This is my first time ever coaching here, so he doesn't have to play tough schedule. I mean, we've obviously been pretty good these last 5 years or so. So I want to tell him thanks for allowing us to come in and play the game. He's got one of the best teams in the country. They'll be one of the best teams when it comes down to it. Whether we won or lost, this is going to be great for us. Just learn. I think our guys stepped up to the challenge. You know, we know they're one of the toughest teams. I mean, Ejiofor, I think, was the leading offensive rebounder in the country last year. So he's preseason player here in the Big East. I mean, he had 27 and 10 with 5 boards. So he kind of did his deal. I thought our guys did a pretty good job with most of their other guys. You know, Hopkins and Ejiofor were the only two scoring, it seemed like forever. So I thought we did a pretty good job holding the rest of them down. But probably the best thing we did outside of making tough plays, you know, we ended up out rebounding them by 1. They closed that gap. We were up a lot bigger on the rebounds for a while. But probably the best thing, other than just making all those tough plays, was took care of the ball. Our backcourt had 2 turnovers on the day. So we had 7 as a team. 5 of those came from our front court, some offensive foul calls. Just, you know, I thought our guards did an unbelievable job handling the pressure, handling the press, handling the, you know, they're super physical in the half court. We did a good job. You know, the only thing really standing out that we got to really work on is guarding without fouling. It's hard to win a game. The other team doubles you up at the free throw line. You know, they had 40 free throws. We only got 22. Huge discrepancy. We just, you know, we made tough plays. We just gonna have to figure out how to do it without fouling moving forward.
Questions for Coach and Labaron? Emily, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. Do you feel like Taylor Balboa was an X factor? What were your thoughts on his performance compared to Monday?
Huge. He was 100% the X factor in this game. The plays he made, the blocks he made, even the ones he didn't block where he challenged shots, the rebounds. I mean, he had 7 and 7.5. So if Taylor doesn't bring it like he brought it, we have no chance to win this game, especially with the rest of the guys being in foul trouble in the front court. So, you know, we played him as a small ball 5, and I thought he was great on Ejiofor. Played him at the 4. I thought he was great coming over, challenging shots on the weak side. Shoot, sometimes he was at the 4, and we cross-matched him on Ejiofor. I couldn't be more proud of like his effort, his toughness, and that's what we're going to need out of him moving forward. And he brought it. You know, we chart those blue collar points. We call him. They give a hard hat at the end of the game. He won it. Him and Amari Allen were both over 20 on those kind of the blue collar points, effort, toughness plays. So Amari was huge for a freshman. His first week of college basketball, step up and play like he did in the Garden. He's got himself a great career ahead.
John.
Yeah, Nate, I'm just curious. Obviously, there were so many great players in the program last year, Mark, Cliff, and Graham. When Labaron decided to come back, what was the dialogue like about obviously taking the reins and being at the epicenter of everything?
Yeah, I mean, he called me late in the day. We had to pull his name out and just say, hey, what if I told you I always wanted to come back? Like, roll tide, let's go, let's go win a championship. So there's no more moral victories in this program. I think we're the only team in the country to play in Elite 8 in the Final 4 the last 2 years. Like we've, you know, outside of the teams that have won national championships, I've been us in Houston, consistent winning at the top. You know, for the last 5 years, like there's a lot we've done. Won more SEC championships than anybody in the SEC, more SEC wins, go on and on. But what we haven't done is win the whole thing. All right, and that's what he said. Wants to come back, win a championship. You know, we're a little overlooked right now, which that's fine. I think we're overlooked. Brandon Miller's freshman year, we ended up being the #1 overall seed that year. We're probably better off being an underdog. We'll probably be an underdog at home against Purdue. I mean, the way they handled us last year, you know, up there, we're an underdog here. We may be an underdog at home. You know, probably be an underdog in Chicago against Illinois. Great. We put together a tough schedule. We're going to test ourselves early. We're going to see what we're made about. But he wants to win at the highest level. And then, you know, the biggest thing I think he needed to make a jump on with his leadership. A lot of enthusiasm for the game. Like, guys love playing with him. Always been a great teammate. Just now, he's got to really like lead. And I think he's doing that. I thought he was pretty good with it today. I mean, he settled us down, made some big shots, talked. He was pretty good.
Okay, just one more thing. You know, you've always been very outspoken about the fact that your best teams have always defended at a high level. Even though you got the win today, what would you like to see improve on the other side of the floor?
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, we gave up a 1-1-4, not ideal. We wanted to win the second chance points, which we did. I thought our guys answered the bell on the rebounds. We had 19, they had 15, but we still gave up too many boards. Our transition D was a little suspect, and honestly, the biggest thing was we got to figure out how to do it without fouling. I mean, you can't put a team to the free throw line 40 times and expect to get very many wins. So, fortunate for us that they didn't have a lot of shooting on the floor. So we doubled them up with the threes. We had 11 threes, they only had 6. We had more second chance points, but you can't, they scored 28 at the free throw line, we scored 14. Like it's hard to win that way.
Dave, how big of a challenge is their front court gonna be as you get to March and in the Big East with Edgewood, Hopkins and Ruben Prick coming off the bench? That's a lot of size.
No, they're good. And shoot and pray, how many three? Yeah, he hit the 2 threes. I mean, Ejiofor hit 2 threes. So, I mean, they developed some confidence in their shooting, like stretch out a little bit. We tried to sag them. We were comfortable living with those guys making threes because we needed the paint clogged up, but they start knocking down threes. I mean, they're going to be really, they're going to be tough to play against regardless, but they got one of the best front courts in the country. So our front court answered the bell. Noah, Big Aiden was good. They just got foul trouble. We got to make these tough plays without fouling.
Labaron, can you talk about the concerted effort that your coaching staff wanted you guys to rebound, considering the front court you guys were going into today?
We already knew it was going to be a challenge coming in, trying to box Ejiofor out, and then the other guys you can't forget about. Hopkins and Mitchell, they really crash the glass. Some of their guards do too, but we was just trying to emphasize when the guards is in no man's land and they're trotting back, you got to go in and make tough plays. I think Amari, ended up with 10, 11 rebounds. That was like really big. He's a physical, strong guard that go in there and get those rebounds, and so is the other guards. So that was like one of the main things we try to emphasize in practice.
In the middle.
Labaron, what was your mentality coming into this game? Having played in this building before, the whole 2-3 you had coming into?
I never played in here before, but I already knew it was going to be like one of the biggest stages. I mean, Coach Oats talked to me, I think, on Wednesday. We had a discussion, and after that, my whole mindset for this game has changed. He told me just get off the ball when they put 2 on you, and when they give you an open lane, take it. And the most important thing was just being locked in on the defensive end. I think I was really keyed in, trying to get guys inside the line and force them to take tough twos, and we was going to live with that. So,
Last one.
Baron, you guys were relentless on going to the hoop. They were trying to push them out, but you guys kept going. What was it about your ability and your mentality to keep going towards the hoop?
We already knew we could beat them off the dribble. I mean, that wasn't a problem. We got really 3 fast guards, me, Aiden, and Latrell. It's really about just getting the defender on our hip every time. I think like once the defender gets on your hip, it's over with. It's a done game. And that's what Coach O's preaches to us. If the guy turns his feet, open his stance, you got to go. Don't, pull it back. Just keep going to the rim. And we work on those strong finishes in practice. So it translated more in the second half, I would say, for me. And for the other guys, they just really stepped up and really got to the rim. So that was a really good thing to see.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Labaron.
Can I make one more point? Our trainer and our training staff, if you watched, you look at the 2 guys that maybe want to play, like Holloway and Reitzel, end up with 21, 4, and 0 from Holloway, 17, 3, and 0 from Reitzel, and the fact that Reitzel hasn't been able to practice because he's been hurt, they deserve a little credit because we would never have won this game if those guys weren't available to play. They did an unbelievable job. They were both probably at some other places they want to play today, and they did a really good job getting in there. So proud of a lot of people in our program, the training staff's right at the top. So appreciate you guys. It's great being out here.